What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. So Bitcoin right now is testing towards 13,200 right now, 13,200, which is actually a pretty critical point. It was a resistance in 2019, so it's going to get pretty interesting. We'll see if we can get above it. Ethereum is now pushing up above $400. So I'm just making sure I'm getting all the audio correct here, guys. We're gonna get started here in just a second. I think we should be okay. Guys, let me know if the audio is good. Let's get this right. Let's get this right. What's up, guys? Smash that like button as we get the stream started. Let me know if the music levels are good. with the microphone volume and everything. Let me know if it's all good. So Bitcoin now coming up above 13,200. Ethereum popping up above 400. We also got Chainlink coming back above $11. All looking pretty interesting. Altcoins are starting to get a push back to the upside. So this is getting pretty interesting right now. Bitcoin smashing above 13,200. Let's go back to the weekly so we can see where we're at. And if we're taking a look at the weekly chart, we do have that resistance from 2019, which is where we're at right now. 13,200, and Bitcoin is actually trying to push up above it. This is going to be a pretty interesting spot to watch. So we do have some price history here. Some people are saying put the music higher. Now let's go back in history and see what else has happened at 13,200. Not really all that much from 2017, 2018, right? So the only thing that we're really looking at here is one of those previous wick highs from 2019. So that is the current area of resistance that we're testing right now. We're going to see how much momentum, how much demand Bitcoin really has at this point. Guys, let me know in the chat. Click 1 if you think we're going to smash through 13,200. Click 2 if you think we will not smash through 13,200. Let me just go through chat real quick. Bitcoin setting records here. If we do close this, it's really likely that we're going to close this weekly above 12,000. And if we do, that is the 7th weekly candle to have ever closed above 12,000 in Bitcoin history. A lot of people in the chat think we are going to smash 13,200. Looks like mostly one so far. I see a lot of familiar faces in the chat. What's up? Anthony M is in the chat. George is in the chat. What is up, guys? Kevin Blanger's in the chat. So this is getting pretty interesting, guys. We're testing just above 13,200. If we get above this, which we're currently above that previous peak from 2019, then it's likely that we'll actually end up moving towards 13.8. But we'll see. We'll have to see how this actually plays out. Something that we were analyzing in the stream yesterday, which is pretty cool, is that if you bring up the parabolic stop and reverse indicator, we did get oh wait, I have all the settings wrong here. Sorry, I'm coming back from the gym right now, getting all this started as fast as I could. So if we're looking at the parabolic stop and reverse indicator, we did get a bullish flip here. So this is from the video today, this drawing that you see on the screen. But we did get this dot you see right here is indicating that Bitcoin is very likely looking to enter a major uptrend, right? And like we discussed in today's video, it's likely that we're looking to target, closer to 13.8 on this run, and that we're actually starting to kind of just move straight up to that point. And we'll see. It's likely that we probably will find some resistance there. And if we do, it's not the end of the world. You'd be looking to buy back along the 21-week EMA. If we do find any resistance, I would be looking to target back at 12K at the end of the year to get that, that prime entry before a continued run up. But we'll see, guys. Anything can happen. Anything can change, right? Anything can happen. Anything can change. So Bitcoin right now, let's go back to the candlesticks, is now seeing a little bit of rejection along 13,200. So we'll see. Ethereum was able to pop up above 400, which is pretty cool. So if Bitcoin starts to consolidate in this range, then it's likely that Ethereum might actually get a little bit more momentum to push up, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's go to the lower time frame to move into the 4 hour and see what it's looking like. So again, this is the 2019 wick high. We're seeing a little bit of rejection here off that wick high. Let's pull up the S&P. So today the S&P closed down 0.2%, S&P futures. S&P futures are currently flat, pretty much flat. But what's really interesting is that if you're looking at the US dollar index, which is the candlesticks that you see here, obviously Bitcoin and the S&P have an inverse correlation to the DXY, because if people are not confident holding cash, what are they going to do? They're going to buy stocks, they're going to buy Bitcoin. And what's really interesting and what's like very important about this chart here is that what we're seeing is that Bitcoin's inverse correlation to the US dollar index is proving to be extremely strong. And even though the stock market saw a little bit of a pullback recently, because the US dollar index has been pulling back and losing that support, Bitcoin has been able to absolutely moon directly against the US dollar index, right? So that inverse correlation is proving to be really, really strong. And you know, guys, that is exactly what Bitcoin was designed for. It was designed to be a hedge against the devaluation of fiat currencies. That was the purpose of it. And that is, you know, exactly what Bitcoin is doing right now. So if you're using Bitcoin as a hedge against the US dollar, it's working out really, really well. Again, the blue line is the S&P 500. I'm looking at chat right now. People are saying there's a dump. Well, Bitcoin's coming back to 13K. We're finding rejection at that 2019 wick high, which is totally expected, right? If we can get above 13.2, then we'll likely hit 13.8. But we'll see, right? We'll see. You know, there's always two sides to the coin here. Even if Bitcoin does see some kind of rejection here, if it consolidates sideways, then altcoins are very likely going to see some really nice moves, right? Bitcoin might pull back and everything is going to pull back in the near term, right? If this is a rejection, which is not confirmed yet, but you know, as Bitcoin trades sideways and consolidates, all the altcoins start moving up. So that'll be interesting to see if that's what's taking place right now. Just looking at chat. Kevin B in the chat says, at some point you just got to accept that you're going to make money. And that's something that I used to say in a lot of my videos earlier this year. I was saying, you know, because Bitcoin, earlier this year, Bitcoin was kind of just going straight up, right? We were just, you know, after the global pandemic, Bitcoin was just not pulling back at all, right? It was just going up, 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 and people were really confused. And I was saying, like, on this run up, I was saying in a lot of my videos, sometimes you just have to accept that you're gonna make money, right? Because that's a really difficult idea for people in crypto to accept right now, is that they're gonna make money, right? That's a very difficult concept to grasp for the people that came in, you know, after the bull market and they've just been gotten chopped up for, you know, years, right? They have like almost PTSD right now. But at some point you got to accept that, yeah, you're going to make money, right? As long as you're staying patient. And right now we're getting a lot of bullish signals, right? Even though Bitcoin is pulling back here, it's not a big deal. As I've been saying in all my videos, as I said in yesterday's live stream, you know, at some point we're going to find resistance. And if you get your entries in along the 21-week EMA, that's very likely going to be the best entry for you, right? So, guys, on your charts right now, pull up the 21-week EMA. Because if you buy along that, it'll very likely end up being very profitable. And I've even considered possibly taking some shorter term trades if we do get a pullback to the 21-week EMA, possibly taking some longs with low leverage along that moving average potentially, which I don't normally do, but you know, if the setup is there, I'll take it, right? And that's, guys, in my video today, people are saying gamblers are getting liquidated, and that's in my video today, I was basically saying, I'm giving you guys a little bit of FOMO medicine here in that video today. And I was saying, you know, whenever we find resistance, just look for a pullback to the 21-week EMA, right? And that's your medicine, right? Because we're most likely not going to go straight to the moon. We'll probably end up seeing volatility. So people are asking about Chainlink right now. Chainlink has seen a nice bounce back today, which is pretty cool. How much time do we have? We have less than an hour left on the daily chart. It would be nice to see Chainlink engulf this previous candle here, but I'm not sure if we're going to get that at this point. But Chainlink is looking pretty good. You know, most altcoins, you know, people need to remember that Chainlink is an altcoin, right? So most altcoins were selling off as Bitcoin was going up. We had a huge dump, and now we're seeing pretty good demand, a pretty good rebound. We're seeing a higher low get created right under that $10 level. And we got a nice bounce to the upside, so that's pretty good, right? And we're holding, this is a really critical zone right now, even though we did get a brief dip below it. You know, within 2 days, we were right back above it, and we held it as support again. You know, 850 about to 922. That's the area that Chainlink needs to hold, which we are holding now, and it's looking pretty good. Let's pull up the 21-day EMA. This daily candle, I'm hoping, can close above the 21-day EMA. Right, so if we get this daily candle to close above this level right here, which is the 21-day EMA, which has acted as resistance, and during the run-up, support, right? And now we flipped it here recently into support, flipped it again, you know, used it again as support. And we had we snapped below it during the altcoin sell-off. Now we're back above it. If we close this candle above the 21-day EMA and we can confirm support on it and bounce, that would be a very bullish sign, in my opinion, and that would very likely mean that we're looking to actually head up towards $12.85, which is that previous support resistance. So that's the bullish case right now, right? Major support in multiple areas here, also a resistance. If Chainlink can confirm the 21-day EMA as support, then we'll probably target that range at some point in the near future, maybe within another couple of weeks, right? So this daily close, it looks like we're going to get this close above that level, which is pretty good. And if Bitcoin can consolidate, you know, and stop sucking the life out of the alts, you know, if you're in these alts right now, you want Bitcoin to consolidate, right? And then Chainlink would have an opportunity to run up. Someone says, Kevin, you're bad luck. Well, yeah, I mean, I almost figured, like, as I was about to go live, I was like, if I go live, Bitcoin will probably find resistance. I was like, I'm just going to do it anyway. Whatever. I really don't care that much. I mean, guys, this run is amazing, right? We just tested the 2019 high. Sorry, one of the 2019 wick highs. Pretty incredible. Now we're seeing a little bit of resistance. It doesn't mean the run is over. It doesn't necessarily mean the run is over. Anything can happen. Though this is, you know, we'll see how this 4 hour closes. We got about 50 minutes left on this 4 hour, so we'll see. George says, smash the like button. I agree. Definitely smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe as well. Just looking at chat. So people are saying this is a bull trap. Well, guys, I mean, the idea of a bull trap, like, if you're going to call something, it's not a bull trap, right? I mean, it's more of a matter of perspective. Yeah, Bitcoin can consolidate in this range, right? It's just progress, right? I just call this progress, not a bull trap. This is really just progress. And if Bitcoin consolidates below 13.2K, that's going to be really good for everyone, right? It's all about the long-term progress, guys. It's not about just going straight to the moon, because that is not going to be sustainable. But we'll see. It's not over yet, guys. We still got 50 minutes on the 4 hour. We'll see how that closes. And let's mark up this channel. So here's the interesting part, is that we just hit that 2019 high, that wick high, 13.2K. But if we do continue up, the next upside target is actually going to be the top of the channel, and also right around that previous wick high at 13.8. It could even be 14K. It could even be 14K if we continue up. But in my opinion, you know, this channel, this upward sloping channel, is less significant than these resistance points. The market's going to be looking at these resistance points, I think, you know, much more than the channel, which, you know, because when it comes to TIG, when it comes to technical analysis, the things that are most obvious on the chart are the things that actually matter the most, because the most people are looking at them, right? That's why, you know, sometimes simplistic technical analysis is actually far more effective, because you're looking at some of the most obvious things on the chart. And when it comes to market interpretation, that's what matters the most, right? And you literally just saw that happen here. Very, very simple thing, right? It's not complex. You just mark up the 2019 wick high. And that's where we found a little bit of resistance so far. And it was that simple. Right? So sometimes being simple is all you need, guys. Someone says China is about to get up. Well, China's probably already awake. Their alerts probably all got set off. Somebody's asking if there's an inverse head and shoulders on the weekly, and no, you can't. I don't see that at all. You know, don't try too hard to like find something that's not there, right? It's got to. This is nothing here says inverse head and shoulders. So this is all, you know, what we're hoping for now is that the US dollar index can start falling below 92. And then ultimately, what, 91.70, I think it is. So if the US dollar index starts breaching below 92, 92.10, and if the US dollar index breaches below 91.70, things are going to get extremely, extremely bullish, right? So, of course, there's always a chance, guys. There's always a chance that the US dollar index comes back to the low, finds support, rallies up for at least a short period. If that happens, you're going to see a pullback in Bitcoin and the stock market, right? But what we're hoping for is that we just don't even, you know, this support just kind of gets crushed and things continue down for the US dollar index, and the US dollar continues to lose value. And then prices will continue to skyrocket. Somebody's asking, what do you ask? Someone's asking about Cryptowatch. Yeah, guys, this app is the Cryptowatch desktop app, right? And this is the 30-minute chart right now. And you can do custom layouts with this. And set it up however you want. So just go to the Cryptowatch website, and you can actually even watch the spread on exchanges in real time, how things are trading, which is another awesome feature. Just go to the website Cryptowatch, and it's on the homepage right now. So even if we do find rejection here, honestly, this is all really, really good for Bitcoin, right? This is all really constructive, especially if we pull back to the 21-week EMA, find support. This is all very constructive price action, and it's honestly looking really, really good right now. It's looking pretty fantastic. And in a way, I would almost prefer it. I would almost prefer Bitcoin to come back down to retest, you know, that resistance here, this previous resistance here, and the 21-week EMA as potential new support. It would be a fantastic entry. It would be a healthy pullback. It would be very constructive for the trend. And I think that would actually be the best case scenario. Now, nothing is confirmed just yet. This is just the drawing that I had in my video today. People keep asking about Chainlink. We were just talking about Chainlink, guys. If we can close this daily above the 21-day EMA and then get a bounce off of it, then that would very likely show that there's enough confidence, enough support to bring us up to $12.85. And ultimately, Chainlink has to hold, you know, this range right here. We got to hold this range if things do turn around. But right now, if we can confirm this close above, find support, it's looking pretty good. It's looking pretty good overall. You know, of course, we have a lot of sideways for Chainlink right now, but that is just how all altcoins are trading. All altcoins got devastated the past few days because Bitcoin was going up, and now the support is coming into the alts. And especially if Bitcoin consolidates, we'll probably get some nice moves for Chainlink. I've noticed with Chainlink that there's a lot of times where the entire market is down and Chainlink is up, and then the entire market is up and Chainlink is down. It actually trades pretty uniquely in the market. But we'll see. Just looking at chat. Hey guys, let me know in the chat if you guys think that 3250 was the local top before a short-term correction. Click 1 if you do think we're going to go down. Click 2 if you think we're going to go up. So click 1 if you think that this is the short-term top and we're headed down. And click 2 if you think we're going to continue up. You know, even if we just consolidate here, you can continue up. Click 2. It seems pretty split, 50-50 right now. Half people think we're going to get rejected, half don't. People are talking about US dollar. Yeah, guys, I was reading an article that, so first of all, the CFTC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, discussed that they want to make sure that Ethereum is, that the United States is leading the blockchain industry. So they're going to properly regulate crypto and sort of allow the existence of crypto. Like they're not going to be too harsh because they want the United States to lead, right? And then I also heard that people were sort of theorizing that banks might have their own nodes in the future. That banks might be like nodes, which is kind of an interesting thought. Especially if we get a blockchain-based digital dollar. Each bank will be like a little node in the network. And that's the thing, guys. There's pluses and minuses to institutional adoption. You know, we're getting a lot of institutional money coming into the market right now. So the price of Bitcoin is going up. We actually have a lot of companies buying Bitcoin, so that's a good thing. You know, that's the plus side. You know, and institutional adoption and regulation will actually cause the crypto market to become legitimate, right? It'll be a legitimate market. Right now, it's kind of like, you know, some people believe in it, some people don't. But if the regulators come in and the institutions come in, crypto will become legitimate, right? And it's going to benefit early adopters. The bad side is that you know, cryptos will start to be controlled by the fat cats on Wall Street. Blockchain dollar XRP? Nah, I don't think so, guys. A lot of people think XRP is going to be like the world reserve currency, and I think you're kind of crazy if you think that, because you really think the government is just going to hand over all that power to Ripple? It doesn't make any sense. They would lose all their power. I mean, what Ripple's supposed to be is just a cross-border solution, right? Cross-border payment solution for banks, and a settlement solution. You know, if XRP was going to be the world reserve currency, I think the price would be going up right now, and insiders would be buying it. Just doesn't seem likely. I mean, I'm just being realistic, guys. If any of you guys FOMO'd the top here, click 1 if you did, click 2 if you didn't. Click 1 in the chat if you FOMO'd this pump right here. I'm curious to know. Just be honest. We got a couple ones, mostly 2s though. Someone put in a 3. What does that mean? You like semi-FOMO'd? By the way, guys, if you're enjoying the stream, if you're enjoying the coverage, definitely hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. We're kind of just casually watching the price action. I mean, my live streams, really what I enjoy the most is just engaging with the chat. That's pretty much the reason I come on live, is just to talk to you guys and give you some of my thoughts. But yeah, you know, this is what I was talking about in today's stream, is, you know, even if we find rejection here or at 13.8, likely we're going to come back to test the 21-week EMA, and that's going to be your prime area of entry. So there's no reason to FOMO. There's always going to be, you know, there's like a saying that the market will always give you a second chance, right? That's usually why people get wrecked, is because they think that the market won't give them a second chance, right? They think the market will never give them a second chance and they have to buy right now, but that's usually not the case, guys. The market usually gives you a second chance. And that's just how it is historically, right? Like even, so like think about this. This is a really interesting thing to think about for this topic that I'm talking about right now. This green line here is the all-time high for Bitcoin, you know, going into 2017. That was the previous all-time high, you know, around $1,200 US, right? And as it's going up, there's about what, like 150%. There was a 150% gain that you missed out on from previous all-time high to next bear market low. So the only thing you missed out on long term was about a 150% move. You actually got a second chance, you know, what, like a year later, you got a second chance to get in at really good prices. Just think about that, right? And, you know, very likely Bitcoin's going to probably retest some of these levels again on the way up. Even if we are in a major uptrend, you know, we'll probably come back to test close to 12K at the 21-week EMA. Depends on what happens, though. It really depends. But just remember, you will usually get a second chance. You'll usually get it. And that's just an interesting thing to think about. And when I say second chance, all I'm talking about is this like current level, like where we are here on the chart. I'm not talking about like these lows. I mean, I think it's unlikely that we ever go this low. You know, of course, that is a bold statement, but it just doesn't seem likely anymore. The only reason that we would hit some low prices here is pretty much only if the stock market had a huge dump. That's the only scenario that Bitcoin would sell off again, is if the stock market saw a major crash, right? Get rid of these. If the S&P ended up, you know, because here's one, you know, I've been talking about a lot of bullish stuff, and just to balance this stream out a little bit, let's talk about something bearish about the global markets. The bearish thing about the global markets is this right here. We have bearish divergence, you know, same setup as before. We have higher highs on price right now with lower levels of relative strength. So that is bearish divergence. Look at that, right? This exact setup in 2018 is what caused Bitcoin to drop to 3,100. This is the S&P 500. Bitcoin hit 3,100 right here on that low. When did Bitcoin hit 3,858? After the global pandemic, right here. Again, I'm just talking about I've been talking about a lot of bullish stuff. I just want to balance the stream. Here's one bearish narrative, is that we have bearish divergence on the weekly chart for the S&P and that we're more likely to see a major correction again. And if we did see another correction like this, right, what would Bitcoin do? Again, we hit 3,100 in 2018 at the bear market low here. We hit 3858 at this low for the S&P. If there was a correction in the S&P again, what would Bitcoin do? Where would it go? That is really the only bearish argument that I know of right now myself is the global markets. So that's just something to keep in mind if you were looking for a bearish argument. Because it is possible. Guys, definitely smash that like button. How many likes do we have? We need to get at least 200 likes, guys. Come on, we have 500 people watching. We need 500 likes. Like, why can't all 500 people just click that like button? I don't get it. Someone says, are you Swedish? Yeah, I am Swedish. I'm actually a Swedish citizen as well. But I live in the United States. I'm a US and Swedish citizen. Wow, we just got a huge like spike, all the way up to 250 likes. Let's see if we can hit 300 likes like literally in 30 seconds, which means everyone needs to hit that like button right now. We're getting there. Oh, we did it, guys. We hit 300 likes in 30 seconds. We just went from 170 likes to almost 3. Well, now people are unliking it, of course. Of course. That was like a record. 170 to 300 in 30 seconds. That was incredible, guys. Well done. So Ethereum is at a point that, in my opinion, is pretty much at one of the most critical points between what would be considered a bull market versus not a bull market or a continued bear market, right? Ethereum is sitting at a point where if we get above 450-500, then this could be classified as a bull market for Ethereum. I mean, Bitcoin is already getting there, right? If Bitcoin gets above 13.8, that is considered a bull market because that is a sustained increase in price for almost a year. So we're pretty close to actually getting to what I would call a bull market. Now, a bull market does not mean you have to break the all-time high. That's a bull market just means a sustained increase in price over time, which means probably like a year, right? So we're getting pretty close to an actual bull market here for both Bitcoin and Ethereum. And what's really interesting about Ethereum is that this resistance in support, I mean, if you look at the support level here, so let's look at the date on this support level for Ethereum. April of 2018. What was Bitcoin doing in April of 2018? April of 2018 is right here, right? So for Bitcoin, that was right here. And Bitcoin is, obviously completely outperforming Ethereum, right? Bitcoin is way above that level, way above that support level, right? Ethereum is still at that support level. Ethereum is still lagging behind. And the idea, the hypothesis that I have as to why Ethereum has not, didn't really have as much of a gain as Bitcoin in all of these run-ups and why it's not actually much higher right now is because of the ICO bubble, the damage that was done to Ethereum right here by all the ICOs and all the projects that were dumping Ethereum. Because, a lot of people got scammed, right? And a lot of these projects collected Ethereum to raise money. and then they made their money. They cashed in, and they pushed Ethereum's price so far down. I mean, $1,400 to $80, right? Insane correction. And I think there was a lot of selling pressure from these projects that were just holding tons of Ethereum, and they wanted to cash in. So Ethereum's price had a lot of damage done, right? And of course, Bitcoin is not used in the same way as Ethereum, so Bitcoin's market has been a little bit healthier. Carlos coming in with the 4, handing me a cup of, what, is that a cup of blood or is that a cup of coffee? I can't tell. It looks red. It looks like a cup of blood. Bitcoin.org. It looks like maybe it's a cup of blood. I'm telling you, that is like some red water right there. That is not brown. Carlos, I'm a little scared of your tip. I don't know why you're handing me blood. But I appreciate it. Oh, it's Kool-Aid. I see. Gene is asking what exchanges are good. You could go with Kraken, Coinbase. If you want to make a quick purchase, you do Crypto.com app. That's a really quick way to get crypto. But yeah. Why is it, wait, is there some news with the FBI here? I see a lot of people talking about FBI press conference live about to start. What are they talking about? Everyone's talking about the FBI press conference. Let's see what's going on. FBI is holding, it says FBI is holding conference on what? So is there multiple things here? Major election security. So I guess this press conference is about to start. Deputy Director David remarks at press conference announcing cyber-related incident of 6 Russian intelligence officers. There's a lot of people in chat talking about this right now. I'm not sure what the story is on this, though. Indictments of... No. I'll check that out later. Eric coming in with a 2. He says, will alts pump after this BTC pump? Well, it's, you know, it depends on what Bitcoin does, but it's likely that if, let's say this is a resistance. Are you guys hearing this? I think I'm good. If 13.2 is a resistance, right, from the 2019 high, which we just touched right there, and we start to consolidate here, you know, however this plays out, let's go to the daily. If Bitcoin creates some kind of formation in this area, this is the exact type of price action that you want to see. Like a nice bullish ascendant triangle, a bullish continuation pattern, right? You want to see this type of structure if you want altcoins to start running again. You want to see something like this. This would be like best case, right? That's like the type of structure I would look for. If you're going to try and make plays with altcoins like that, if you get a nice bullish consolidation, usually the altcoins are doing really well. But if there's just some crazy dump, then everything is going to drop. I'm just giving you guys the idea of what it takes for altcoins to move. Does anyone know what's going on with the stimulus now? Because they walked back. They were supposed to agree on it yesterday, but they said that they don't have to and that they're going to do it later. So I don't think anyone really knows what's going on with that yet. So we have, what, 20 minutes left? Is it 20 minutes left on the 4 hour? We got 20 minutes left on the 4-hour candle. We're going to see how this one closes. Stimulus talks continue tomorrow. Great. Gary says, do you think Chainlink could be the Ethereum of 2017? Well, I mean, it's not likely to be. Guys, you have to keep in mind, guys, Chainlink is built on Ethereum, right? That's pretty, you know, and that in of itself tells you just how important Ethereum is, right? So I'm not sure, maybe I'm misunderstanding your question, but Ethereum is obviously going to be the leader. I mean, there's not even a question about that. But could Chainlink do something like Ethereum did in 2017? It's totally possible. Guys, if Bitcoin enters a major bull market, right? Let's say we do start to just range up along the 21-week EMA and the bullish scenario does play out and we go into a new all-time high and Bitcoin is, you know, going into a bull market again. You know, I mean, imagine how euphoric that's going to be for all of us, you know, if and when that does happen, right? Just imagine, right? If something like that is happening, Chainlink going into the hundreds, like, to at least $150 is completely possible. It's completely possible. It's not even that crazy. It's not even that crazy. If something like this were to happen, Chainlink could go into the hundreds. Totally possible. And like I was saying in yesterday's stream, if Bitcoin does something like this, right, where we do enter a bull market, again, this is just the bullish case, the first target for Chainlink, the first target is pretty much $40. That's target number one in a bull market. That's literally stop number one on the bus, $40. That's the next major upside target. So yeah, it's totally possible. Again, I was just discussing a bearish scenario for the S&P here. I actually want to pull up something else. I need to use the fib here on TradingView. Let me check something real quick. I mean, you got like $27.50 and then upwards of, yeah, literally the 2618 comes in at $40. And that would be my next upside target if Bitcoin does enter a bull market. For Chainlink, guys, for Chainlink. Again, it all depends on Bitcoin. If Bitcoin doesn't do this and it goes and we don't go into a bull market, you guys, some of you guys are going to be like, "Oh my God, Kev, you said Chainlink was going to go up so much higher, but it didn't." Well, yeah, because that's only if Bitcoin enters a bull market, guys. Only if. But this is the bullish argument right now. This is the bullish case for Bitcoin here on this chart. Something like that. Pump Factory coming in with the €2. Pump Factory. You should be using those euros to pump Bitcoin right now. Why are you giving them to me? You should be buying Bitcoin. Pump Factory says Ethereum is cool, but I'm not going to shill an alt. I don't even know what that is. But I appreciate the two. I appreciate the two. You know, and a lot of people are going to be like all scared and upset if Bitcoin pulls back. But this is what we've been discussing here for the past few days is that, you know, at some point we're going to find a rejection at some point. Maybe it's not now. Maybe we keep going up. But at some point we'll probably come back to the 21-week EMA, and that's a great entry point as well. A little bit of FOMO medicine for you guys. All right, so we got 18 minutes left on the 4-hour. We're going to see if this turns into a rejection candle or not. either way, I'm not really worried. I don't really care because the long-term picture just looks too good. It just looks too good right now. So who really cares what happens over the next month? Because if it goes lower, you're just going to buy more. Thoughts on Ben Cohen? Ben Cohen's pretty good. I've seen like a couple dozen of his videos and I like them. I think he's pretty much very he's always focused on the long term, which I really like. And he talks a lot about the cycles, I believe. I think I've seen like a dozen or two of his videos. And I don't know if Ben Cohen discussed this or not, but this just reminded me of the fact that now this chart looks really whack right now, but we've been drawing a lot here. But check this out. 1,240 days from the last, 2013 bull market high to the break of the all-time high. If Bitcoin is going to continue up along the 21-week EMA, it would almost be the same time. 1,240 days coming in around May of 2021 would be the break of the all-time high. So, staying, if you're gonna go with the bullish argument here, and you're gonna stay relatively conservative while also keeping into account the previous bull market cycle, you'd be looking for a break of the all-time high around May of 2021. So that's, we got some time, right? I mean, we got time if this plays out, right? November, December, January, February, March, April, May. So 7 months, perhaps 8 months, perhaps. I mean, right now it's shaping up to be almost the exact same thing. So we'll see, though. We'll see. Again, anything is totally possible. If the stock market goes down, Bitcoin will, the cycle will lengthen, right? A lot of people forget that. Oh wait, I just forgot what I was going to say. But we see optical art in the chat. Resistance, optical. You've been. Oh, I don't know. You're way too bearish right now. Sure, I'm just looking at chat. But yeah, guys, the cycles are looking pretty much the same here. But what I was going to say before I got distracted was that if the stock market does pull back, Bitcoin's not just going to go straight up. If the stock market has a major correction, it's not going to be that great for Bitcoin. It's not going to be that great. And again, if the stock market, so again, the blue line on this screen is the S&P 500. If the stock market, this blue line here, if the S&P, dumps and corrects, this means that the US dollar is likely coming up. And this means that Bitcoin is also likely coming down, right? But I'm not saying that's what's going to happen. I'm just saying that if the stock market's coming down, there's a few things that means. And it means that Bitcoin's very likely not just going to be going super bullish. Maybe that means we do get a lengthening cycle. If things remain bullish in the global markets, Bitcoin's cycle will probably be almost the same exact as the last one, 1,240 days. Yeah, guys, I'm not claiming that we're gonna get a correction. I'm just discussing the scenarios, right? If this, you got to think as if then, right? That's how you want to analyze things. If this happens, then that happens, right? You don't want to say this will happen. There's no such thing as a certainty, right? Anything, Trump can just make a tweet and all of a sudden the market pumps or dumps, right? So you want to speak as if then. You don't want to say this will happen because then you just sound dumb. Don't say this will happen because you don't actually know if it will. I see people all over the place making these claims that this will happen. And it's like, you don't sound smart when you say that. Speak as in probabilities. If this happens, then that happens. It is 100% certain that if something goes parabolic, there will be a pullback. Well, of course. The only way that that wouldn't be possible is if literally nobody decided to sell, which is extremely unlikely. But yeah, I mean, guys, in a parabolic run, you're going to get these pullbacks, right? You're going to get these major swings down. Again, if the bullish case is to be considered, you know, like the last major run up here, man, this chart is just too whack right now. I'm going to go to another one. Let's go back in time again. You know, this is something that I used to talk about a lot. I'm going to pull it up here. Check this out. It's really weird. I forget when this begins. If we go from the low to high, is that where it is? Or maybe it's the next low to high. Pretty much most of these parabolic swings came back to retest the 618, right? So if you're just looking at from low to high, you know, we come back to test the 618 golden retrace. I believe it's from this low to this high. You know, we tested just around the 618 golden retrace. It might look a little messy here. If we go from this low to this high here, is it that one? Maybe it's this one. Let me just clear this chart. From this low to this high, we come back and we tested the 618 golden retrace, right? If you go from this low to this high, we came back and we tested the 618 golden retrace. If you go from the next swing low to next swing high, or this swing low to the next swing high, we came back to test what? The golden retrace. Oh my God, on all of them. On all of them. Run up, 618, run up, 618, run up, 618 every single time in the last bull market. And if you had the foresight to see that, you could have traded it perfectly almost. Now, it's not guaranteed to repeat again, right? You never know what's going to happen. We haven't really started that type of a trend just yet, right? That was all like as we're breaking the all-time high, above the all-time high type stuff. We're not really in that type of a position yet. So I wouldn't really look for that yet. Once we start making bigger strides, you know, if Bitcoin does start to make bigger strides, you know, then you could be looking from like swing high to swing low or whatever. Like, okay, we're, you know, 618 test, right? Maybe. I just found it really strange that in the last bull market, we hit the 618 golden retrace on almost every single move to the upside. Pretty cool. I just wish I noticed that then. I only realized that after everything happened. Guys, let me know in the chat, do you think that it's possible that if the bullish scenario plays out here, do you think that Bitcoin will hit 100K in the next bull market? Click 1 if you do. Click 2 if you think that's completely unrealistic. So click 1 if you think 100K is possible in the next year, you know, multiple years or whatever, or a year. And click 2 if you think it's just never going to happen. Steak and Fly says thoughts on Band protocol. Guys, just go with Chainlink. Band is a copycat, and also the only reason Band went up was because the Binance Mafia was behind it, pumping it, and it has a 20 million coin supply. And they also lied about working with certain projects. I know that Band protocol lied about working with the Loopring project, and Loopring had to go out on Twitter publicly and say, we're not working with Band protocol. And also there was like the sushi swap thing with like the whoever created Band protocol had the same IP address as the guy from Sushi Swap. Something weird. I don't know. I don't care about Band. It's all about Chainlink. Chainlink is the leader in the Oracle space, guys. There's no competition for the Oracle space. Chainlink is number one. So it seems like, let's go through the chat here. It seems like most people in the chat, the vast majority of people in this chat right now, think that Bitcoin could go to 100K in the next bull cycle. It seems like it's like 70% say yes and 30% or 20% say it's not realistic. But again, you know, a lot of people, I'm not sure. Actually, here's another question I want to ask you guys in the chat right now, because I want to see how many new people we have watching. Click one if one in the chat if you're new to the stream. Click 2 in the chat. Actually, don't do anything. If you're new to this stream, if you've never seen my channel before, or you're new, click 1 in the chat right now. I want to see if there's new people coming in. Beware of anything Binance Mafia does. Dan coming with the 2 says, beware of anything Binance Mafia does. Mafia pumps. Wow, there's a lot of 1s coming in. Really? So there's a lot of new people here. That's pretty interesting. Well, there's at least a couple dozen already typing in the chat. Interesting. Very interesting. So we do have a lot of new people watching right now. Well, guys, welcome to the stream. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Also, I'm assuming that if you're new, then you might not have that much experience trading. The one thing I would say to you guys is just keep your eye on the long term. I mean, right now we're looking at the weekly chart. Every candle is 1 week since 2017 to where we are now. And I just have marked up what's a possibility to take place here. And, you know, it's possible that, you know, no matter what Bitcoin does here in the short term, we may end up coming back to test the 21-week EMA. So buy the dip, basically. Basically just buy the dip. On the weekly chart, that is. In a bull market, you know, some people laugh at that, right? Some people laugh and they say, oh my God, buy the dip, really? Guys, look at the last bull market. If you bought these dips on the weekly chart, you were golden. Just buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. So if anything like that plays out again here, well, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Sometimes that strategy works. In fact, if you're very long-term focused, it always works for Bitcoin. One Corn Pop says you should subscribe. Kevin is legit. I appreciate that. Much appreciated. Yeah, all you guys that just typed 1 in the chat, which means you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. Usually, I do live streams. You know, there's like, my live streams are like seasonal. Like, I do like seasonal live streams where it's like when something's crazy happening in the market, like this huge move down. I was live streaming like every day, all day. I wouldn't even sleep. I would just live stream for weeks on end. I was live streaming a lot here, warning about this pullback that was, you know, coming, calling 7.2. And I was probably live streaming a lot during this pump, right? Because we were looking for this bump and run reversal. And, you know, maybe I'll live stream more if we get this type of a scenario to play out. Because if this plays out, it's going to be really easy. It's going to be really easy to trade. But again, it really depends on what the stock market does. If the stocks are bearish, then this might not play out. People are looking at Bitcoin dominance and saying that, let's see. Well, I mean, on the weekly, it seems like it's pretty, people are probably looking here at the 1 hour chart. Yeah, so some of the altcoins are probably getting some support as we speak right now. Bitcoin dominance is seeing a little bit of the top. So some money might be going into alts, possibly. We'll see. Did we get the daily candle to close yet? Did I miss it? We got 2 minutes. 2.5 minutes left until the daily candle closes, and what an epic daily candle that is. What an epic daily candle. I think I was live streaming last night, right as this candle was moving up, and I'm live streaming again right here. Yeah, people are worried. I mean, depends on how you're trading this. You guys remember, just have a plan, right? Just stick to a certain plan. Because some people that are new will like buy into Bitcoin, and then when it goes down, they'll think in their head, yeah, I'm going to buy this for the long term, and then it goes down and they just immediately flake on it and just sell. You know, just make sure you have money to buy the dip. Here's a word of advice. If you just always assume, no matter what you do, if you're buying Bitcoin and you just always assume that the market could go lower and that you're not buying, right? Never assume that you're buying the exact bottom. If you always assume that the market could go lower, no matter what you're doing, you will always be in a better place, right? So let's say, as just an example, Bitcoin, let's just say you bought Bitcoin right here, but you assume that it could go much lower than this, right? So you're ready for that. You actually put cash aside for the dip. So you bought a little bit, but you're assuming the market could go lower. Well, if it goes lower, you've already assumed that it could do that, so you have more money to put in on the dip. Whatever, you see what I'm saying? Just always assume the market could go lower, even if you bought, this dip right here, and you thought, I'm just going to assume that it could go lower than this. Well, you're not going to panic anymore because you're prepared for it to go down more, right? You're not going to be. It's just more comfortable when you have that mindset. You're always more prepared. Even if you think you're buying the absolute bottom, just always assume it could go lower. That's it. It's all about mindset. So let's see here. We got the new daily right now. It just opened up. So if we do pull back, we might be finding support somewhere in that range right there, if we do end up pulling back. Just looking at the history here. Both of these wicks right here line up, pretty much. So an area of interest is probably going to be, let's go back to the daily. If we do see any type of rejection, we could go straight up again, but, probably be looking to pull back to 12,500 maybe, if we are going to pull back on this next daily. Maybe. We'll see, though. If you're looking at the volume, once you see a volume spike on the daily chart here that exceeds the previous levels. So right now we're still technically the volume is still on a decline, kind of, right? Still kind of on a decline. So once you see a volume spike that exceeds these levels and it's popping up above that trend line. And let's say during that moment where the volume spikes hard, this is just something that could happen. It doesn't have to happen, but if the volume spikes hard, damn it, I can move this. Sorry. If the volume comes up above that trend line and the price spikes and you see this huge spike, that could indicate like at least a short-term blow off top. Maybe we hit 13.8K, and then that's when you start to see the consolidation happen. Just as an example. Keep your eye on the volume, because that'll probably be a pretty good indicator. It's easier to determine where the top is when you are taking volume into account, right? If you go to the weekly chart, just as an example, the 14K top matched this volume spike. The 3 to 4K low matched this volume spike. And the recent 38.58 low matched this volume spike, right? Just as an example on the weekly chart, bottoms and tops. So on the daily chart, you can kind of look to do the same thing. But it's not guaranteed. It's much more reliable on the weekly. AJ Singh says, will we hit 15K by the 27th? That's a weird question to ask. I have no idea. I am not sure if we're going to hit 15K by the 27th. What's the 27th right here? 7 days away, 6 days away. I'm not sure if I would be looking for 15K on the 27th. That's a little bit, I don't know about that. Again, if we do, this is like what I was displaying in my video. If we run up to 13.8, it's likely we find some resistance. But again, anything is possible. We'll see. We'll see. But we just saw the daily candle open, close and open. And let's actually look at the 4-hour. So 4-hour closed with a huge wick. And a pretty big spike in volume there. Pretty big spike in volume on the 4-hour. So there is a potential that this thing consolidates at this point for a little bit first. Totally possible. When you see this huge spikes in volume, right? But again, keep your eye on the US dollar index, guys. The US dollar index, right? If the US dollar index finds support here and comes up a little bit, you might see a short-term top for Bitcoin at least, right? Before maybe continuing down again, and then Bitcoin would have the momentum to go up more, right? So just keep that in mind. Even these little swings for the US dollar index on the daily chart can cause Bitcoin to move. So we'll see. Keep your eye on the US dollar index for both. If you're looking at the stock market, if you're trading the stock market, US dollar index is also important. Both Bitcoin and the stock market are moving in the same direction, though Bitcoin has benefited much more off of the US dollar index dumping recently. But anyway, guys, I think I'm going to end the stream here. We've been streaming for a while. How long has it been? Over an hour, I think, at this point. Just wanted to come on, talk to you guys, discuss some thoughts, watch the daily candle close, see where we're at, and we'll see. We did close below that 13.2K wick high from 2019, so it would have been more bullish if we had closed the daily above that, right? But we didn't. But we'll see. Either way, guys, I would be looking for a retest of the 21-week EMA. At some point, maybe we run up to 13.8 first, but just expect this type of parabolic move, right? Just a lot of volatility. And if we do see this dip to the 21-week EMA, definitely buy that dip. Not financial advice. Ryan Mills coming in with the 5 says Pepe. I appreciate that, Ryan. But anyway, guys, I'm probably going to end the stream. If you enjoyed this stream, on your way out, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Probably going to be doing more of these live streams as time goes on, as things play out. But I appreciate you guys all tuning in. We had like over 500 people, almost 600 people watching, so I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all you guys that hit the like button, subscribe, and we're probably going to end the stream now. So I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.
week.